There was a time when the Earth breathed in a majestic, profound silence. It was an era long
before the first human footprint touched the soil, a time when nature was the only architect. The forests were vast, emerald seas of green, and the oceans were deep abysses of liquid light. Life flourished in every corner, free, wild, and ancient. This was the Cretaceous. It was a world of creatures so immense they seemed sculpted by the hands of gods. On land, herds of Triceratops roamed under
A sun that knew no winter. In the sky, Pterosaurs with wings like living sails glided on the
thermals. In the depths, leviathans with terrifying teeth reigned over the silent currents. Among them lived the undisputed,
the Tyrannosaurus Rex, with 2 tons of pure muscle, bone-crushing fangs, and an instinct as old as
the planet itself. He was the pinnacle of evolution. It was a world perfect in its ferocity. Every
heartbeat had a meaning, and every creature played its part in the grand balance of life. Herbivores grazed
on towering ferns that covered entire continents, while carnivores hunted in the golden glow of dawn. It was a masterpiece of pure power. Yet, even in this harmony, a dark fate was unfolding in the heavens. None of these magnificent beings knew that every step they took and every breath they drew would be their last in this world. High above, in the cold, infinite darkness of space, a fragment of rock, born from an ancient celestial collision, had begun a lonely journey. This journey lasted for millions of years. It crossed the vast asteroid belt between Mars and Jupiter, silent, invisible, and inevitable. Of its impending doom, continued to rotate. Mountains grew, oceans shifted, and the seasons.
A living planet, but a vulnerable one. In the immensity of the cosmos, a single grain of space
was enough to change everything. That grain was coming, and no power on Earth could stop it.
The asteroid entered the Earth's neighborhood. It surrendered to the planet's gravity and accelerated to a terrifying speed. It crossed the moon's orbit in a heartbeat. As it hit the atmosphere, the air began to compress and ignite. From the ground, it appeared as a trail of fire, brighter than 1,000 suns. This
was a body 10 kilometers across, hurtling at over 70,000 kilometers per hour. Its target was the Yucatán
Peninsula. Beneath it, the dinosaurs were experiencing their final dawn. The birds stopped singing as if the earth itself were holding its breath. Then came the light, a flash so bright it blotted out the sun. Then came the roar, a sound so loud it surpassed the very concept of hearing. The impact was cataclysmic. The sea exploded upward, vaporizing instantly. Megatons. The Earth's crust folded like sand. Rock melted into glass, and the sky turned into a furnace. Within a radius of thousands of kilometers, nothing survived. A shockwave swept across the globe, incinerating forests. In seconds, a tsunami, more than 1 kilometer high, raced across the oceans, swallowing coastlines. Began to bleed. Fragments of rock hurled into space returned to Earth as incandescent rain. Thousands of falling
stars turned the world into a global inferno. The forests vanished in a single breath, and the oceans
boiled, releasing poisonous vapors. The aftermath was even more merciless. The sunlight could no longer reach the surface.
Through the thick shroud of ash and smoke, the blue sky became a permanent wound of gray.
4 months, the Earth was a frozen, dark tomb. Photosynthesis stopped. Plants died, followed by the herbivores, and finally, the great predators. The Tyrannosaurus Rex, who once ruled the world, now roamed through charred remains, starving and broken. The giants vanished, one by one, into the liquid silence of history. Yet, in the shadows of
the ruins, life refused to surrender.
deep underground, in burrows and riverbeds, small, tiny mammals, the forgotten ones, waited in the dark as the scent
Filtered through once more. The first drops of rain washed the blackened soil, and forgotten seeds began to sprout. Moss covered the scorched rocks, and ferns rose from the ash. The age of reptiles was over.
The age of mammals had begun. The extinction was not just an end, it was the spark that
lit our history. From that destruction, the seeds of humanity were born. Millions of years later, we appeared.
Creatures capable of looking at the stars and wondering where we came from. We are the legacy.
that fire. The Chicxulub impact didn't destroy life, it transformed it. Life always finds a way. It adapts. If you believe that the world's memory should never be forgotten, follow Eclesso. Here, every story becomes a voice.